We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, the ball is knocked out, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 34.
Tuesday. Young guy. Ready. Play 25. Base. Hey, let's go.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. gun, it's Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. This is caught inside the 15. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forcing incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Ryan. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons. And the first play will be a field goal try. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The 49er offense getting another crack here, and, you know, I don't want to read too much into preseason numbers, but yet I do want to read a lot into preseason numbers. You know, from an offensive standpoint, the 49ers right now, #1 in the NFL, over 400 yards a game.
Hey, read away. When you're averaging that kind of a number, yeah, you feel great as a team. You feel great as a franchise. And Jimmy Garoppolo, having come over from New England last year to be their quarterback, he hasn't done a single thing to dispel the notion that he's going to be a very good starting quarterback in this league. And he wants his team to focus on the little things he talked about after last preseason game. Don't let the little things slide, guys. We still got some things to do to get better.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Caught left side, Garcon. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher.
Gun!
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Ryan going underneath. It's Coleman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Oh, yeah!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Throwing again, Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Ryan will throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. As we inch closer to the regular season, I'm just peering down at some of the preseason records. Right now, Ravens 4-0, Bengals, Panthers, Cardinals, all 3-0. I guess my question is, what stock do you put in these preseason records?
You know, the easy answer is nothing, because the preseason doesn't really matter. But some organizations do put more stock in it than others. Some of them want to win every preseason game. Others don't worry about that at all. Intel has told me that only one team has won the Super Bowl after going 0-4 in the preseason, and that was in a strike year, I believe, when Washington did it. So, for the most part, you just don't want to go winless in the preseason. But remember this, the Browns and the Lions both went 4-0 preseasons, then they went 0-16 in the regular season.
Speaking of winless teams, Eagles and Falcons both winless right now, could be Super Bowl contenders.
I still think that they're going to be, whether they go winless or not.
And Garoppolo, maybe a free play. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gould now out to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On first down, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Tuesday. Hey, let's go.
Now Ryan on second down. The left side completion to Jones. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So it's first and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Tuesday.
Here's Ryan to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons are in for 6. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Hurry up. Go ahead.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Let's go.
Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Gold now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Jones. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Wait! 22!
Now Ryan on first down. Incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, wait! Let's go! Hey, gun! Let's go!
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. The throw to the left side, caught by Colbert. And now running right through it. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are in for 6. And he knocks it through. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here again is McKinnon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being creative by the offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front,
creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Here we go. Hurry up.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. It's caught by Garcon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon. Garoppolo on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
They run it with McKinnon, and he'll bring this one inside the 35. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. But with the incompletion there, gives us time to hit on the retirement, Charles, of Eric Decker. Of course, played for the Broncos, Jets, and Titans, was with the Patriots this preseason, but now he's going to step aside.
I think he had a fantastic career because look at it this way. Getting 1,000 yards in one season for a receiver, that's a career for most people. He did it 3 times. Best year in Denver in 2013, 87 catches, almost 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. Congratulations on a wonderful career, Eric Decker.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Right, south, right, 20. Ready, set up. Gun. Let's go. Set up.
To throw again. Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Let's go.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ready. Hey, gun. Hey, Tuesday. 21. Let's go.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Pierre Garcon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Go ahead. 11.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Goodwin. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He fights him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deion Jones able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. Garoppolo, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. McKinnon. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And he's got it up and through. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Hey, let's go.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 1st and 10. Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
He'll look to throw, and this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
What looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
11.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Looking to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively,